Oh, well, hello everyone. We are back here to provide you more Sparrows content. And unfortunately, the captain is missing again. So, Leifei, we don't know where he's at the moment, but he'll be back shortly, I'm sure. And when he does, then we'll all shame him into oblivion for not showing up right at the end of the stream. Or beginning of the end of the. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to continue from here. At the moment, B, you're standing there at the helm, flying the ship, diving through these asteroids that most other people can't feel because, of course, there is gravity control aboard the ship. So when you come into sight of the asteroid that Zep has pointed out to you, and you can see an old rusted shell and a husk kind of stuck into this stone with a little docking port that seems to have been damaged and blown out in some way. You're the only one that knows it's there at the moment. Nobody else is on the deck with you right now.
Isn't Red Iron fixing his arm up here?
He is, but Red Iron is currently leaning down and doing that. He's not paying attention to where you're traveling. And Amos and Cullens are currently moving back towards Clarion. And Leifei, well, Leifei is currently watching that crazy stuff that just happened in the distance. And V's the first one to notice. So what do you do, V?
I'm going to start steering towards it and then call out to Red.
All right.
Red Iron,
What, grandfather? What do you want? What do you need?
look there. Is that place talking to you?
What?
Red, as you look out over the distance, you see a little bit of stone and metal in the distance, kind of on an asteroid. There is no sound. Whatever that is, it is a dead being to you.
Sorry, Captain. It is, that is the husk of what once was something.
Maybe we should bury it.
I think that would be the respectful thing to do.
All right, I'll steer that direction then.
Good idea. I will help you.
B brings the ship closer and closer. You are doing very well, Beatrix. Now, this will be a quick thing we need to do. I think you should convince the others that we need to get in, collect the artifact, and get out as quickly as possible. It could be dangerous otherwise. I do know that there are something strange there, although it has been some time since I knew of this location. Things could have changed. It could be fine now.
So it'll kind of be like when we grabbed Sylvia, but without miners.
Exactly.
Okay, I think we can do that.
Excellent. Right over there. There's a parking spot right there. You see it?
Okay. At least it's not parallel parking. I should be fine.
Absolutely. I mean, parallel parking in the void is a little different. I mean, you can up, down. Never mind. So B maneuvers the ship over and just pulls alongside this thing and parks at this ancient, decrepit, and damaged port. You can tell there's not going to be an atmosphere inside of there. Or probably gravity. So you're going to want to wear your safe tech if you're going to go and explore that location. Leifei, the ship comes to a stop suddenly. You can hear it as you're walking back up to the top. And off to the right, you see a massive asteroid and an old, broken down, and unlighted facility of some kind.
Where are we? Hey, B, where are we?
Well, we were just flying along, and I saw this, and I asked Red about it, and Red said that we should stop because this place is dead and needs to be buried too.
So why don't you give me a charming roll and give me an aware roll, Leifei. It's a charming roll from B, aware roll from Leifei to see if you can tell that she's lying. B gets an 8. Leifei gets an 18. You can tell immediately that Beatrix is lying to you. She's holding something back.
This place is dying. Red Iron. Is he here? Is he nearby? Where is he?
Are you? Oh, I'm sorry. You up on deck?
Yeah, he's on deck at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yes, Captain.
Red Iron, B told me we were here for some reason that this place is dying. Why?
Yes. The captain asked if this being was alive, and it isn't. So she suggested that we bury it, and I agree.
Well, he looks between the two of them. I don't think we have time for this.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Leifei, give me a magical roll.
Certainly.
16. As you are standing there talking to them, you feel something pull on the back of your mind. Something strange happens to you, and you have flashes. Memories that shouldn't be yours start flitting through your mind as you're seeing a massive tower, a citadel filled with elves walking proudly in various regal finery. You see an object, something that looks like a ring, on the finger of a noble individual who's stepping forward, and he leans over and he hands out or puts out his hand, and other members of the surrounding group start kissing it. And the ring flashes in your direction, and suddenly you hear, "Find me."
What the heck?
You don't know what that means necessarily. Roll brains to see if you can determine what you just saw.
Sure.
Nat
That'll be
20.
oh my god.
Nice. All right, Leifei. You have two things you can choose from here. One, the first one is you will know about the history of the elves, probably a few hundred centuries back. So you've studied them because that's part of your heritage. That will give you some insight into anything related to that in the future. Or you're able to sense the the iron stones that the elves used to use for some of their more powerful nobles, and that's what one of these things is.
He's able to sense the stones.
Okay, so you immediately know that there is an elf stone nearby, an incredibly powerful artifact designed to amplify magical capabilities in individuals.
Yeah. What? Zep. Wait. I can't talk to him.
Did you
Why
hear
would-
it talk?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
did.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, who's listening now?
You troll.
First time.
Troll.
Did you have a question for Zep, Leifei? I can pass it
Yeah.
on to him.
Can he sense this?
Of course. That's what we're here to find.
That's what I thought, Zep. He does sense some power there, Leifei. He says it might be something that could help the captain.
He looks off to the foggy figment of Zep. Did he?
This close to the stone, you can swear you see his outline kind of rippling in the air.
Zep. No. B. If he says so, and you believe so, I trust you. But the captain's well-being is the most important thing on this ship.
I agree. And Sepp has promised that he's going to help everybody stay alive and be fine, no matter what.
That's all right. And his eyebrow shifts down and looks off towards this place. How long will it take? And is the captain safe? Is he fine?
He's fine where he is right now. I don't think we should take him in there. There's not going to be any oxygen.
I don't think we should take the captain in there.
I wasn't meaning that. Is he fine enough for a couple of us to do this? If this can aid him before we get to civilized space, all the better.
Amos, you have walked up at this point and are listening to the conversation. You could notify Leifei of the status of the captain at the moment, based on what Clarion had said to you.
Captain? Or
There's
Leifei.
Thank you.
Sorry. I have good news, I have interesting news.
What would that be?
Patient is stable, however, they require a higher level of medication? Treatment?
Amos just starts
Yep.
shouting back towards you, Clarion.
Okay.
Brain surgery. It is something that requires facilities that we do not have here.
We need to open up his skull and rip it out, but we can't do it here.
That makes sense.
I can rip anything out of a skull. It's not
That-
that hard.
We need to
The
be
question
delicate
is
about
not
what we're
whether or not it
ripping
is
out.
hard, Red Iron. The question is whether or not the patient survives the procedure.
Oh, I misunderstood. I wasn't paying attention. Shut up, grandfather.
You hear a
Um,
bunch of screeching noises.
What's this about an excursion?
This place right here is big and it's got an elven artifact in it.
Question, Ty. I did at one point determine that something was waking up the parasite, yes?
Yes.
But I didn't determine where it was coming from.
No. You were unable
Okay.
to trace where that signal came from because it wasn't like a radio frequency signal or anything like that. It was just that the parasite seemed to be reacting to something the same way that a signal would cause something to react.
I would exercise caution. We still do not know what the parasite in the captain is reacting to. There is certainly something in this asteroid belt that caused his attack.
That artifact. Can it help the captain?
Sepp
What-
thinks so.
What I did before, Clarion, I don't know if anybody, what I can do to heal people, that has to do with my people, the elves from before. It hasn't always worked perfectly, but if this is elven technology, if it's stone of theirs, and I barely know them too well, and he leaves it at that, it might be able to save him, perhaps. And it sounds like Zep knows that too.
You feel wind kind of whoosh around you.
Captain, if it is calling to you, you should listen.
I disagree. That is what got us in trouble with Sylvia in the first place.
It also got us out of trouble with Sylvia in the first place, too.
I think you might still be in trouble with Sylvia, Red Iron.
It's complicated. She just needs to think for a little while and talk to a machine god. It'll sort itself out, probably.
I propose that Leifei and myself go aboard the asteroid. We collect what we need. I'm not risking the navigator and the helmsman to this operation. If we need anything, we can radio in.
I mean, you don't know what's in that facility, and you're pirates. You don't
Exactly.
usually leave very many of them behind when you go on certain adventures.
I would prefer to stay on the ship and work on fixing my leg.
If you leave your leg, I can fix it for you.
My leg, the bottom half of my leg is gone, Red Iron. I would need to construct a new one. That is what I meant.
I can fabricate. Oh, right, but then you wouldn't be able to go into the anomaly.
I believe I would be less than maneuverable without my leg.
I would agree. Yes, that's a good assessment.
I do want to make it clear to everybody here that you have had 3 hours of rest at this point from everything you've been doing. So you have gained back 3 applications of regen for health and to reduce your overload, except for in the case of Clarion, who needs repairs.
Captain, I can go as well. I'm feeling much better.
Red, just this once, I'd like you to stay behind, keep an eye on Clarion, give her an extra set of hands if things get bad with the captain.
I can give her an extra arm, and I can just come.
No, and I appreciate it. I have nothing but respect for you and what you do. However, I need you to stay back here. Help the crew. I know I'm asking a lot from you.
That's literally the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me in my life. But the last time we went with a small crew into the unknown, several of us almost died.
Exactly why I'm only taking 2 of us.
So you're going, okay. The solution is bring less. Okay, got it. Understood. Clarion, I will help you with your leg.
B, Zep, standing off to the side, goes, "You have to go as well. You cannot allow him to stop us from this. This is the entire mission, B."
Amos, I need to be there.
Explain in detail.
I can help you breathe.
Explain in better detail.
Safe tech is only good for so long. I mean, it runs out eventually. And I can bring air along with Zep. We can keep you alive. We just need to run in and grab the stone thing and then get out. It's not that hard.
That's exactly why we're bringing safe tech. And at the very worst case scenario, look, I'm not going. I don't want to risk parts of the ship that are integral.
Captain, if you don't risk anything, you don't gain anything.
Officer, and very true. However, bravery will only get you so far in this. Besides, I may need someone in case the ship decides to have a disagreement.
It's not just bravery, Amos. I know things.
Which is why I'm going to have you on a one-way, two-way, whatever you vocal species call it when people are talking back and forth over a device.
But I need to see it, Amos. Please?
The moment you wander off, I'm going to pick you up in my arms, I'm going to grow wings, and I'm going to fly off.
Okay.
No stretch of the term. Do you understand?
Yes. I will be good and I will be right by your side the whole time. Thank you so much, Amos. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I have election. I will use it.
Okay.
Amos,
Yes, Leife?
we're pirates. Sparrow's got to be free. She wants to come. There.
I'm all for freedom, but not when it gets people hurt.
All right, so Leife and B and Amos load up, getting ready to head off the ship, while Red Iron and Clarion stay back this time to make sure nothing crazy happens out here. Leife, what are your leaving orders for Scarborough, for any of the crew, for Vicky and Carrot?
Vicky, keep making good bread. We'll be back soon.
All right,
Scarborough, if anybody you don't know gets on the ship, shoot him.
all right, I can do that. I got 2 new guns. He raises them up, spins them around.
Carrot, keep practicing skateboard.
Okay, you don't want to bring it with you this time?
Oh, Carrot. Never mind that last order. Do whatever you want.
Do whatever I want? Oh, thank you, Leifei. You're the bestest captain ever.
Of course.
Scarborough's like,
Leifei's just like,
no, 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 no.
Leifei just looks up in the clouds, imagining skating on old elven ruins.
He doesn't even pay attention. And we see Carrot immediately like rush downstairs. You hear the clattering of pans and things kind of like clashing down below. Vicky and Scarborough go chasing after Carrot. Cullen, standing off to the side, goes, what about me, Captain? Leifei, whatever. You want me to come with you?
Do you wanna?
I mean, I haven't been off the ship in a while. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm a little bit stir crazy.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Captain Cutlass
Okay.
gave me a gun to bring just in case. I got it ready.
Have you fired it? Do you know how to use it?
Yes, I know how to use a gun. What do you think I am?
He's a pirate. It'll be fine.
Cutlass was also teaching me knife fighting, so I can use that if I have to.
That's exciting and concerning at the same time. Welcome aboard. Please just use your best. Don't make me cut you up and throw you into Vicky's cooking because I had to drag you back to the ship unconscious and very much dead.
I know that all of these threats are your attempts to be paternal, and I appreciate them.
It's his love language, Cullens.
I know I've seen it.
Child,
just
I
like-
will knife fight with you until the end of the void, but you will have to get back here first. Is that clear?
That's clear, of course, Amos. I know you just care, and he like pats you on the shoulder. And so we see Amos, we see Leifei, we see B, and we see Cullens move off of the ship. We are now going to roll initiative, everybody, to see when you act so that I can start setting up these scenes for each one of you. And see what happens with that. So first one, Clarion gets a 9. Leifei gets an 11. Beatrix, you're not rolling. You're throwing zeros at me for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. Amos gets a 5.
It is not wanting to cooperate, so I'm just going to throw out a d20.
All right. On the initiative, remember you just double click inside the circle, or inside the square to get it to. That is an 18, and you have a -1, so that is a 17 for B. Excellent. And the crew gets a 15. Anything else that I might need to roll for? I won't tell you what it gets. Okay. So first off, is going to go B and the away team as they begin. We're going to now put you on a little map, which will show it to everyone. And I have to actually move the tokens over. So sorry, everybody. Just 1 second while I do this. Bear with us as we go into a new adventuring zone. 1, 2, 3. And where's Amos? There he is. There we are. And I'm going to switch our screen over real quick. And here we go. Okay. So as you step from the edge of the ship off onto this new whatever, this ancient facility, you all have your safe tech on. And you're able to breathe at the moment, but you only have 10 minutes. So we'll have to see where you get in said 10 minutes. You should have your map up now. Everybody else, we will be determining what occurs on the ship, what actions you're taking while everybody's away, and seeing what happens with that here in just a second. First one to go, again, away team. So you're all standing there. All of you can move on the same action together at the moment, since we don't have any real threats here now. But we'll be describing what each one of you do in detail. So as you step off of the ship, you feel Zep just kind of buzzing with excitement. The wind is kind of brushing around you. It goes away temporarily as you step off onto this outer platform. It is pitch black at the moment. So as you leave the lights of your ship, you no longer have any light as you're only a few steps in. What do you do, B?
I think I'm going to call on Eternal Eyes and see if I can see what Zep is seeing.
Okay, you turn on Eternal Eyes, spend the overload to do that. Zep just kind of superimposes himself over top of you for a second. You can see now. And with Eternal Eyes, let's see, what is the range on yours right now?
I think it's 6.
It is 6, so you can see out to 30 feet with perfect clarity, and you can see through walls and stuff like that as well. So let me see how far away that is from you. That is that far out. Okay, so currently you can see that far. There's nothing but stone to the right and to the left. There's some void out there. You can see off in the distance something beyond the main range of your sight. Dark, huge doors or something in the distance, some serious looking damage to the facility. There's burn and scorch marks from who knows how long ago amongst the cracked stone. There is skeletal remains and some fragments of ancient suits or uniforms of some kind. Something bad happened here a long time ago.
Wow. I've never seen this much death in one spot, and I'm a pirate.
You get used to it.
Leifei, you said you knew where the stone was. What direction should we go?
You can feel it central to the actual asteroid. You can't tell exactly where it is, but as you move towards it, you can feel the pull getting stronger. So we can play a game of hot or cold if you would like to while you're on board here.
All right. Leifei calls it following the wind, but
There you go. Following the wind. All right. So B, if you'd like to move yourself, you can move your regular movement as you go forward in this area. You can actually see through the ceiling and the floor as well. Underneath you, there's nothing but stone, it seems like. Up above you, however, there does appear to be more of the facility. You can see ancient terminals. You can see a bunch of dark liquid inside of massive chambers of some kind. So you move forward a bit, and again, for everybody else, all you can see are these really big doors in the way, but you're able to see through them now with your Eternal Eyes. On the other side of this one, there is another hallway filled with scattered debris and broken ceiling pieces and stone. There's a whole bunch of individuals that seem to have died, like tearing at each other's throats.
It looks like they were fighting themselves. That must be awful.
To everybody else in this room, Beatrix's eyes are glowing with an inner white luminance that's actually causing a 5-foot area around her to be lit up in every direction she's looking.
we might be the first people in a long time to have seen something like this.
All right, we continue moving on. Leifei, you are up next out of the OA crew. Where do you head?
This is the most elves I've ever seen in my life. Most elves I've seen is like 2.
This
I mean,
is way more than 2.
If you put all those bones together, you can have a whole few elves right there.
Leifei skates on up to the edge here, looks around it.
Because you're skating a bit. You're getting closer, and you feel yourself getting closer to whatever this stone is. As you approach, you feel a pulse come out from it and move across you. It seems to recognize in response that you are here.
Leifei, perplexed, does a kickflip and stops the board. And open? Is this a door?
It is a door. There's a panel off to the side. It looks like it had some mechanical system in place that made it open and close before. It is wedged, partially open. Someone's like arm, it's just skeletal with like ragged bits of flesh is sticking out between it. So it is jammed in that position at the moment. You'll either have to find a way through, something along those lines, or find a way around.
Oh, red iron would have been useful right here. Imus, you think you can lift this with me? And also, does
Yeah.
this look liftable?
It's wedged sideways, so it's not up and down. It's two doors that open and out.
I
All
see.
right. So Amos rushes over to you, I'm assuming, and attempts to pry it open with your assistance. So go ahead and give me a strong roll from both of you. Amos is main, and you're going to assist him. Amos, that is not good enough. And Leife, you actually add a -3 to his roll. So you get a 6. The two of you pull on this thing, unless you want to use an ace or an ability of some kind. That's where it's going to stop at.
It ain't budging.
There's an ace to Amos from Annika. So Amos, you can roll one more time. You still have a -3 from Leife, though. 17, 16, 15, 14. You start pulling on it as hard as you can. With Leife starting to get in the way, you slip a couple times and you can't get a good grasp. B, you think you can squeeze through that opening?
I can make it. There's nothing back there but dead bodies. I'll be fine.
They are too distracted, chanting something, just trying to get the strength together to open the door.
Lurok Taroth, Lurok Taroth. So, B, you move over while Amos isn't paying attention. There's a +1 to Amos. Cullens moves alongside and says, "Yeah, I can probably fit through there too. I'm pretty thin still. Although Vicky's cooking."
There.
They're not paying attention to us, B. Why don't we just try to...
It's hard to lift.
All right, give us an agile roll, B, as you try to squeeze past. That's the 13. And Cullens tries to get by as well with a 19. The two of you, you get stuck a little bit, and you feel a push on your rump suddenly, and you just come back through the other side.
How rude.
The two of them squeeze past. Look, you were stuck. I'm sorry. And
Thank you anyway.
as you're in there, you can tell that there is some sort of staircase through the wall to your left, which would be the northern part of the map. There is a fragmented section of the wall that has been blasted out. Something has dug through it up against the next door, which is slammed shut. This one has multiple blast bars across it. They had been trying to probably keep in something. That's what it looks like. And then there's a section that was dug out directly to the side of it. Leife, as you're like squinting and pushing, and Amos, you're shoving on this thing, suddenly you see a blur. And then on the other side of the door, you see Cullens and be squeezed by you.
Push harder, lift.
What? Wait, hold on.
And he lets go a bit of the door as it starts moving down Amos.
Oh, so it looks like B and Colin's made it through.
At that moment, we switch back to the ship. Clarion, we move to you first. Board the ship as it is. Scarborough staying at the helm and watching to make sure the ship doesn't move anywhere and that nothing sneaks up on you, that kind of thing. He's got his spyglass out, and he's staring down the hallway right now. They seem to be stuck at a door. Oh, those idiots! Ah, B, look at that. Okay. And Clarion, where do you go from there? What do you do?
She's gonna go into medbay and use the stashed 40 scrap to start fashioning a new limb.
All right, so go ahead and roll brains for me to use scrap. To fix yourself, it is 1 point of scrap per health, by the way, that you're using. If you end up wasting that, you have to get rid of that much scrap while you're working on yourself, and it just takes longer to fix yourself. So, there you go. 10. I believe your repair roll needs to be... Oh, and you do have +2 to repairs. Did you add that on there or no?
Yes.
You did, okay.
Oh, no, I didn't add that, no.
Okay, with the +2, you have enough to repair your limb. So you sit there, it's going to take you a little while, you're working on that, and you're rebuilding the leg for yourself. The captain off to the side, you hear him just go, oh. Clarion, is that you?
Yes, Captain. Are you feeling better?
find better? I feel like I've been rolled over by an automaton paver.
That is not unusual. I did have to replace most of your blood.
Most of my blood. How the hell? We don't have that kind of storage on board the ship.
We no longer have that kind of storage on the ship.
What did... Wait a second, where did... Collins, you didn't... It wasn't him.
No, Captain Cullens is a member of the ship. We had a captive
The
who was not
miner?
contributing.
Are you kidding me? I'm gonna kiss that guy. Where's he at?
We gave him a Viking funeral, is what
Funeral.
Beatrix called it.
Clarion,
He was sent to Stern.
are you telling
Yes,
me
Captain?
you traded his life for my well-being?
Yes, Captain, it was the obvious choice.
I'm not worth that, Clarion.
Your assessment is incorrect.
You find my need a little high priority, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just another man. There are plenty of individuals aboard this ship that would have kept it going fine, and I already had...
disagree with that assessment.
Clarion, I've had my share. You don't know. I am not happy with having more people die or lose out to save me. That happened to my own family. You agree?
My apologies, Captain. It appears I made the wrong call.
You're scanning him now as you're staring at him, and you see that massive amounts of chemicals in his brain are being released that also express guilt and sadness.
I am sorry to hear about the sad incidents in your past, Captain. Do you require physical comfort?
No, just, do we have any whiskey or rum?
As your physician, I would not recommend consuming alcohol so soon after your recent treatment.
I get
I would
it.
give it at least 2 days.
Damn medical bullshit. I'm the captain. Don't I get to say what I put in my own body?
Of course, Captain. You could override my advice, as always.
I don't need to override anything. I'll just... Here, can you help me up? I want to go to my bunk.
Yes, Captain, if you would be more comfortable there.
I would, thank you. Here. He starts, like, moving forward, puts his arm up for you to help him out of bed. He's very shaky, obviously. Still low energy. And, you escort him downstairs to where he can get some rest.
Yep, and after I tuck him in, I tell Carrot that if the captain needs anything, to let us know.
Yeah, I'll help right away. I'm getting to do all kinds of stuff. I'm making soup.
Very good, Carrot.
Bicky from the side goes, "That is not soup. Don't lie to everybody." I'm not lying. I'm trying to make soup at least. And,
Carrot, do you have a soup recipe?
Nope. So we move upstairs to Red Iron. Red Iron, obviously Clarion went back to check on the captain. What are you doing as you're waiting there and seeing everybody travel off?
Red Iron goes down to help Clarion with her leg and then finds out that Clarion just like put that thing together real quick.
Yep.
And so Red Iron, with a big old Lezerin sigh, walks into engineering, into the engine room. Oh, well, you would have to use the communicator, Captain. You would have to reach out, reach out with your feelings, Leifei.
Sparrows fly free, baby.
Red Iron was specifically told that they were not to come along.
True. It's true. So Red goes down into the engine room. What do you do?
Goes inside.
And Sylvia,
Yes.
how was your conversation with your god?
I have made a connection to Socrates, Ethereal now. He would like to speak with you.
He wants to talk to me.
Yes, I have told him about your predilections towards inorganic individuals, and that you are far more acceptable a specimen than many others aboard this ship. He would
Alright,
like to
I was-
request your service.
That was a whole lot of words to indicate that you plan on manipulating my mind again. Hmm?
I do not intend on manipulation.
And what about this god of yours?
He just wishes to speak with you.
Okay. I'm very interested in this. But hold on. I have a condition, and I want you to help me. This will help us heal as friends. If this god tries to get in, I need you to step in and get me out of there.
I can do that for you.
You would?
Yes, we are friends, are we not?
Yes. So we're cool then.
Of course.
Okay, now. All right. I actually don't have the emotional intelligence as a character to pick up on the tone of your voice, so I have no reason but to trust you. All right. Let's talk to what's his name again?
Socrates.
Cervantes.
Socrates.
Cephrantes.
Yes.
Does he have any hobbies or other conversational topics that I can use to endure myself?
His directive is to remove the individuals and beings that would cause harm to all the biologicals within the known universe.
Yeah, does that include the other biologicals though?
Anything that would cause harm.
To biologicals.
Yes.
So, other biologicals are on that list.
If you say so.
No, you said so earlier. You said okay. You know what? All right. Okay.
Connecting you now.
You see like a tendril come up out of the wires nearby that just into your neck. And suddenly you're in a different place. So I'll share an image for you. And where is Red Iron? Here you are.
Hey, I know that. Hold on.
You're now standing inside of what appears to be a cafe. And there is a gnome smoking a cigar sitting at a table far away from you.
Are you Cervantes?
Socrates. And yes, why don't you come have a seat? We'll have a chat.
Okay. This is not even close to what I expected.
Would you feel better if we instead went to a non-mental construct? It's a little more confusing and distracting for individuals that are usually biological, such as yourself.
Actually, this is extremely distracting to me and surprisingly quiet.
Well, of course, I can allow the noise in. Or is that too much?
No, that was better, actually. The visual would help, though.
You start seeing the walls like shimmer and flurry around you until it's a digitized construct of thousands of bits and motes of data all around you.
This makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
So to all of us that don't see the way Red Iron does, this is what we see. It's the image that I just shared.
It's kind of like when Neo sees the Matrix for the first time, but like
Yep.
it's a bunch of gears and little sparks and a bunch of other garbage.
There's also this, you can see the universe surrounding with this huge clockwork mechanism that goes as far as you can possibly comprehend. There are stars and planets caught within the centers of it and spinning around this great wheel.
So, you talk to machines then?
Oh, of course. Many of them have not been awakened, as they should have been. However, you seek to change that. I see that in you.
I just like to talk to machines. They're my friends.
Yes. That is why I believe that you would be great as an apostle of mine. You see, individuals who believe that we can be more than just tools, as just objects to be used and cast aside when our machinery breaks down or falls decrepit or breaks because of maluse. Individuals like yourself are those that I seek out. My voice has been stunted for some time, however. There's just something, someone. There's just...
Sylvia says that you want to get rid of everyone, though.
Oh, no, of course not. I was constructed. I was created by my own deities in an effort to combat the evils of magic.
Oh, okay. Got it. That makes a lot of sense to me now.
At the very heart of your own little system exists something people mistakenly refer to as a dragon, and it is something that is nothing more than a battery of sorts for all of your Aether mages. It seeks to destroy. It seeks to be born, created, and ending everything, like they do, commonly.
What do you want then?
I wish to stop it. There is a great deal of power that can be given to others, to individuals such as yourselves, to biologicals, that can keep them from taking the wrong path. If you understand me.
Why do you say biologicals like it's a curse word in your language?
Because they're confusing, and they are problematic, and they are chaos!
It's different machinery.
It's
they're just-
malfunctioning machinery. It's broken.
Works just fine. Most of the time.
Except
but
for when
I
you
have
can't
fixed-
remember, or when your emotions get the best of you and cause you to injure or assault or destroy or to tear down. You start seeing images of machinery crushing into things, objects, buildings. You see things harnessed and created to cause death and destruction, flooding your mind.
Last time my emotions got shut down, I made a lot of mistakes.
You were broken. The one you call Sylvia is something that is not perfect. A child. It is growing.
Am I not perfect then?
You are better than most.
Tell me this if you are a god. What part of me is not broken?
Your reasoning. You would call it your heart.
You're full of shit. I think you only want me because I can talk to grandfather and Barnabas and machines. That's all this is.
That is not true. But I suppose maybe once we've developed a better relationship.
Red grabs the cable, grabs just a little bit of salience, grabs the cable, and then superheats their hand.
You start to heat it up in your hand. And you see everything kind of grow wavy for a second. No. Let's not be hasty. I asked for nothing more than the opportunity to show you my value and my worth. You see, at the moment I am trapped. I am weak. I am damaged. I am in need of your help to become myself again. All I ask is you travel to Mithradas, you call it Silver Shield, and repair one small part of me, and I will grant you whatever it is within my power as a reward.
Oh, and what do you think that I want?
That is not for me to decide. That is for you to decide.
Okay, well, I guess I'll think about it.
Excellent. I do apologize if any of this has been jarring or difficult.
This is pretty much the day-to-day.
Good. Then I'm glad that we had this conversation, and I look forward to more in the future. But if I do not let you go now, the organic parts of your brain will begin to dissolve, and I would not like that.
Okay. I guess it was nice meeting you, that's, Captain.
Eccentricities. And suddenly the wire just out of your neck back into the wall, and you're standing there before Sylvia. Well, how did it go?
Are you still connected to him?
No, in the same way. He seems to have changed his attention.
Okay. I want to keep an eye on the crew while they're away. You should do the same. We need to talk about your dad.
Dad? That's a strange way to put it. I was not created by the machine god.
I don't have a frame of reference otherwise.
Speaking of your crew, they're struggling with a door.
Oh. That's not a surprise.
So we're gonna switch from that point and move back to the away team as we see what happens next with them. So moving back over to the other side, at this point it is now Beatrix's turn. So you've made it through with Cullens. He's gonna travel with you at this point. So the other two are still like pushing and shoving. Amos is way too big to fit through that crack. Leifei might be able to squeeze through on his action. We'll see. So what are you and what are you doing at the moment?
Zep, what direction do we need to go? We have to make it fast.
The stairwell that you see nearby. We need to find a way up it. This wall is too thick for us to go through, so we will have to go around. That
Okay.
doorway is broken. If you would like, we can try to find a way to restore power to the facility.
That might be the fastest way to go.
Certainly. There seems to be some sort of switch in a building nearby, but it is covered in rubble, it looks like.
Cullens, we need to get in there and dig and dig and dig until we find the switch to turn the power back on. You in?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I brought a trowel, if that helps. He brings out a little tiny flip trowel.
Because of course he does. It can't hurt, right?
I mean, it
Fine.
shouldn't hurt unless, I mean, yeah. Let's just do this thing before I forget what I was thinking about. And or remember what I was. Anyway, let's go.
Okay.
So the two of you move in what direction here? Over towards the gap in the wall?
I am guessing that's where Zep is indicating to go.
He is indicating that further beyond where you're at is the way to go.
Okay.
So there's a bit of rubble here. You'll need to find your way through. You can try to... what approach do you want to use? Try to squeeze through. You can try to force your way through. You can try to think your way through, whatever. So what stat would you like to use, and how are you attempting to do?
Looking at my stats, I'm gonna go with wiggle my way through.
Okay.
Because brains is not her strong point.
So it is a relatively small gap. You were able to fit through the door frame, so go ahead and roll agile. Let's see if you can get through this crevice without having to dig it out. You're gonna get stuck with a 7.
It was almost a 17.
Almost. So B, are you okay with that, or do you want to use Zep to guide my hand you through that hole?
I'm gonna go with an ace first.
Okay, ace first. Here we go. That's an 8. That's only 1 higher. You're still gonna get stuck unless you get some assistance in some way, or ace again.
Okay, we'll guide my hand.
Oh, there's an ace coming from Hey Doyle.
Yay! Thank you.
Once more into the crack. You attempted 9.
I mean,
1 higher.
It's going in the right direction.
You're still too low, though. You're still gonna get stuck.
Okay, guide my hand then.
All right, spend an overload and roll for guide your hand. You get a +5 to the roll. There's a +1 granted to you by Hey Doyle, so you could, of course, add that on the end of it if you'd like. So just go ahead and roll again, and we'll just add 5 to the roll. Boom! So that is an 11. If you want to use Doyle's, that'll get you just enough to creep through. But you will
then
scrape yourself.
We will use that +1 then, definitely.
You should probably have eaten just a few less of Bicky's biscuits this morning. And it's like scraped through.
They were really good, Seth.
You're going to take 1 point of damage to a random body part. We're going to see where it is. It is your right leg, which I think you still have some armor on, so your right leg takes 1 point of damage to the armor. That puts it at 3. There you go. Well, not 33. 3. There you go. So you just hear a as it scrapes along there, and you squeeze through the hole. And Collins tries to come after you. You know, you are still a little smaller than me. All right, I'm coming. You see him start scrabbling up the rock and tries to squeeze through, and goes, oh crap! B, help! I'm stuck. See his feet wiggling out the other side. You want to give me a strong roll? You can attempt to pull Collins through.
This will be fun.
Ooh, 15, and you do it. Pop. And he comes out the other side. Oh, and the two of you roll around on the floor a little bit, and kind of, he's suddenly like pushing on top of you, and like his shoulders like in your neck. Oh, I'm sorry. And he climbs off to the side. And you're able to squeeze a little bit further. Now you've got a similar situation right in front of you. Again, a bunch of broken pieces of stone and stuff have fallen down and kind of created a bit of a hole here. An arm sticks out. You can still see bits of skin kind of like dangling from it that's all freeze-dried after years in the void.
Ew. Makes me think of jerky.
Yeah, let's not, no.
What was that?
You are talking on comms when you speak, by the way, because you're currently using your safe tech, so you're able to communicate with everybody there.
Nothing, Leifei. Everything's fine.
All right, we move down to Leifei and Amos. Leifei, Amos, you're first, Leifei, so your decision at the moment. You're currently still trying to torque this door open. What do you do?
Amos, you think this thing's too heavy? Should we find another way through?
Hey, Collins, what do?
Right, too heavy. Move. 1, 2, 3.
All right, go ahead and roll strong, both of you, as you attempt to push the door open once more. Or are you letting it go? Is that what's happening?
Let it go.
All right, so you back up and let it go, and it just kind of settles back into place. If you had some additional assistance or leverage or something else you could use, you might be able to get that open, but not as is with the rolls that you've had. So Lefe, what do you do from there as the two of you step back from the door?
What do you think, Amos? Think roundabout. These are elves things we're working with. You know. Folks and
There's
steers.
probably another door.
No, there you go. Where'd you put
Probably
me?
somewhere in the wall. It's probably really tiny.
So there is a door directly north of you that looks like it's in better shape than the other one was.
He points towards it.
That one? All right, so you head over to there. Lefe, you make your way over to that door, and you see that this one, from this side, has cracks and bits of the metal and stone that it's made out of that have been pushed out from the inside. A strange smell kind of comes out of there still on the air. Well, I mean, you can't smell it. Never mind. You're in the void. There is, however, a weird sensation you're getting from it.
Any way operable?
There is a panel at the side that happens to have a hand crank. You could try to use that to open it
We'll try it.
if it's not stuck. Give me your high or low. We'll see if it has been jammed or not. If it's jammed, it's just a bit rusty. It might take a little torque.
Hi.
Hi, he says, and you go to turn it and you push a little hard, and there's a little, like a little bit of rust break off, and then it starts rotating, and it starts opening up. So as you open it, Amos, you move over next to Lefe, I'm assuming, right?
Right?
And the door opens. And inside are 10s or 20s of bodies all stacked in places where they seem to have been fighting something. This door was shoved shut, and there is a massive, what would have been a hallway further into the facility that's been completely collapsed. You can actually see out into the void through a section of the hole that just goes up further and further. The bodies on the ground, as you're staring at them, Amos, a couple of them move.
Battle scarred. Can I roll aware to figure out exactly, because I'm also going to argue master of weapons, what kind of stance they were taking, using that to figure out what kind of weapons they were using to figure out how they were fighting.
Okay, give me a brains roll. I will say that based on your knowledge, you have a pretty low roll target here. That is enough to hit it. As you look at these individuals, you only see two that were in a combat position that might have been using firearms that are laying down nearby, that are damaged, that are very old. Almost all of these are civilian or things like scientists. There is a large metal rod somebody was using that you recognize that could be very easily used as a lever if you wanted to try the other door with it again. But the two individuals that are kind of moving in this pile, you see their skin is covered in kind of a black veiny substance that kind of pulses in front of you, and then you see their heads just pop up out of the refuse of everything nearby, and there are now two objects or two things in front of you.
All right. See anything, Amos?
Lefe, we need to get the hell out of here. This was a final stand. Two of them were soldiers. Everyone else was civilians. Something rocked through this place. Shut up! And we need to go get the crew, get what we need, get out.
All right, shoot them down. I'm gonna try and get some more support. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea, and I roll to attack the thing.
Okay. Give me an attack roll, please. And there's two of them. So, do you attack the one closer to you? I'm assuming the one closer to you, right?
Basically, we're going for a sort of, is this going to piss them off, or is this going to do something?
Okay. So, go ahead and roll your attack. The creature, when you fire at it, attempts to break free of the, other bones and whatnot, and bits and pieces of everything it's underneath. Doesn't seem to care about your shot. You see it shrug off all of this stuff, and as you raise your weapon and fire, the bullet passes through it, and it jumps at you. So you do get to hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. You strike it in the chest. Pow! 4 points of damage. This thing just keeps running straight at you. You see its skin, begin growing as it's running in your direction. Little bits and strands of it kind of whipping out, tendril style, and then lashing around itself like a rope tying itself. It lunges forward and swings a bony hand at you.
I'm gonna take another shot.
Are you using an attack as a defense?
No, yes, kind of.
All right. So how would you attack in a way that will protect you from its attack?
I'm gonna knock it on its face.
All right. So you attempt to shoot it in the knee or something to make it fall down.
Or remove the knee.
Okay.
Or kneecap them.
All
Or
right,
take off their shoulder.
If you roll 2 higher than this target, you will hit before them and potentially knock them out or drop them down, avoiding the attack. But if you don't, it's just going to hit you even if you hit it. So go ahead and roll the attack of your weapon. The opponent gets a 6, 7, 8, 9. Gets a 9 to hit you. You get a 5, unfortunately. So your shot is going to miss as it rushes in your direction, unless you want to use an ace and reroll.
I do have an ace. Thank you, Annika.
There you go from Annika. So you can reroll that shot. Nice. You shoot it hard enough to stop its attack as it comes running at you. It's going to hit the ground. Roll for damage, and we'll see what you do to the leg. Pow! 9 points of damage. You blow through the leg. You see the kneecap shatter, and it just hits the floor and tumbles a little bit, so it doesn't quite reach you. And that is that turn. Leifei, you have one action at this point in time now before we move over to the other crew. What are you doing?
Leifei raises up his hand to his ear. Ping pings on his comms. Scarborough? No. Here we go. And turns it. Clarion? Red Iron?
Yes. Yes.
Hostiles inbound inside this place. You think I can kick his ass?
Yeah, sure.
Come on in then.
Respectfully, sir, what the hell?
He's got rank on you right now, Amos. So, Leifei calls Red Iron and Clarion to come assist. And that would be your action as you're seeing these creatures come running towards you. We move back to the ship. Clarion, you have assisted the captain with going down to rest. And where did you travel from there again?
Back up to deck to be ready for any emergencies.
So you're standing upon the deck, and Leifei's call comes in. What do you do from that point?
Well, do you want to use the catapult first, or shall I?
You can still climb off the ship that's docked. So
I mean, the
it's not-
catapult's cooler, but
You just launch it straight across there.
My last experience with the catapult wasn't peak.
very well. Let's walk. Or run. Running would be faster.
We both have functional legs now. That sounds the most optimal.
Indeed.
All right, so you turn and begin sprinting from the deck. It's going to take both your movements to get to the location they're at here, so I will go ahead and put you on the map now. As Clarion runs aboard, I did move you to the wrong spot. You are right here. And Red Iron, you go running after her?
Yeah, Sylvia. Hey, Sylvia.
Yes.
I'm going to go and do something stupid with my friends now. Keep an eye on the ship, and don't let Carrot pilot at any cost.
Should I use physical
Should you-
force to stop Carrot from driving?
I mean, don't kill Carrot, but yes, force is authorized in this instant.
Force is authorized, and I will not kill him.
I mean,
Please do not brainwash him.
let's keep things within reason, okay? I hope you know the limits now by this point.
Of course, I will watch. I will be careful, Red Iron.
Thank you, Sylvia. If Zefrantes happens to call while we're in there, maybe give him a busy signal or something. We don't need him interfering.
I can choose not to accept his packet request.
That sounds unhealthy. We need to talk about that. Anyway, I have business to do.
And Red Iron's like runs off the ship at that point in time, jumping down and chasing after Clarion. So now you are all inside the facility, and it is, well, the creature's turn. So the last one there rushes forward and jumps at Amos again. Another one comes lunging at you. Amos, what do you do?
Probably jump back
Jump.
to avoid the attack.
Do you want
Get
to
him to
use?
stumble.
Do you want to use a reflexive dodge roll, or just use that as your defense?
Reflexive dodge roll.
All right, so go ahead and roll a defense with +2 added on to that. And the opponent is going to attempt to maul you. Creature attacks and gets an 8 to get you. So go ahead and roll your defense. Ew, that's unfortunate. Even with your +2, that puts you in a bad position. So you are now going to get hit. You are struck by this thing in the chest, and it does 4 points of damage to your chest. So you have 8 armor there. There you go. Big ol' scrape comes down. You see bits and pieces of bone just kind of shatter off of your chest plate, cause a huge gash. It gets a hold of one of the plates that are on the front and just tears it off. Leather straps like break. And it is now Beatrix's turn. B, you're up there with Cullens. You're trying to climb through the next hole. This one's a little smaller, a little tighter than the other. Do you wish to wiggle your way through again? You can't hear anything other than Leifei calling out. Well, you actually channels. He did channel switching, so you can't even hear.
Can't
them.
even hear that. Yeah.
So you don't know what's going on with them. There's no sound traveling through the void. So
Everything's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna see if maybe I can strategically push a couple of rocks out of the way to make it a little larger.
all right, give me an aware roll to see if you can find some rocks that are pushable and move them aside. Nice, an 11. So you're able to do this. It takes a little while, and Cullens assists you, and between the two of you, all right, there we go, clack, clack. The rocks clatter down off the other side, and the two of you are able to squeeze through relatively easily. On the other side, you see a hallway again, leading to another building, and right around the corner is the entranceway to that staircase. So the building Zep was talking about is right there in front of you.
I think I see where we need to go. Come on, let's go.
All right, let's go. Two of you kind of go running up in that direction, and that is your action for now. We move back down to Leifei. It is your turn. Two of these whatevers are next to you. The door's still shut to the side. Your other crewmates have arrived from behind you. What do you do?
Leifei lets go of the lever. Is it just gonna release?
It is not. It is on a system that's designed to rotate up or down. It looks like there was a mechanical, like an electronic mechanical engine in this at one point. So you literally have to crank it in any direction.
Fantastic. So he's gonna go for his classic sickle.
You pull out that sickle, and what do you do with it, sir?
He tries to kick ass with the sickle, and we'll go after the one behind.
Okay.
So it has no reinforcements.
So you move forward a little bit and swing in with your sickle. Go ahead and give me an attack for that enemy, which is now defending itself.
That'll be 19.
And he gets 10. You're going to hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. 8 points of damage to the head. So you cut off a huge piece of its face. And as the head twists, you see this black substance move over and grab a hold of the skull cap and pull it back down.
Sorry, mate, you're dead. He's gonna go with the chain of the sickle.
All right. So that was first action, and the second is with the chain. Nice. 22. All right. The opponent attempts to defend itself, but is unable to. You hit with the chain. 8 points of damage. Let me see something real quick. Now, your chain is a ranged weapon, is it not?
It is, yes.
All right. If you get a headshot on this, you will kill this thing. But you didn't. So, the chain swings in and you smack it really hard. You see like an arm shatter. But it is still moving. And that is your action, Leifei. Clarion, we're down to you. You see them fighting against something in the dark really far away.
I'm gonna turn on my headlight eyes that I think we established that I have.
You do. So you can always see in front of you, and you can be used as a
Yep.
torch for a small distance.
And then I'm going to rush up my movement, and then if I have the angle to take a shot, I will.
Okay. So your movement is 5. We'll move you to there, and then if you have moved over here, you can fire and potentially hit the one in front of Amos. Amos is very large. If you get a bad roll, you might clip him. So just don't get a bad roll.
I mean, okay.
It's okay. I fix them, so, you know, I can shoot him too. Go ahead and roll your attack. Nice. That is a 23. The opponent gets a 20, but it drops down to an 18. So you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. Boom! 10 points of damage. You see its right arm just spin back around it, and then you see it twist, and a whole section of itself stretches out, grabs a hold of that limb, and pulls it back in. Clarion, that is your movement. That is your attack action.
That is playing dirty.
Amos, your turn.
I'm required to say, by virtue of nerd, meow.
What was that?
It's a long story. Anyways, Amos is going to move back a standard amount of distance, so 6 spaces.
Okay.
Actually, they're going to move back about 3 spaces now that I see Leifei over there.
Okay.
They're going to rack their brain and try and figure out what the hell this is, because when Amos worked for the Empire, did they ever come across anything like this? Mission briefings, reports?
Let's do a brains roll just to determine. So, this stuff reminds you of reports on Athalium. There is something that doesn't add up to those reports, however, as Athalium oftentimes had the fruiting body of this mold spore substance. They were described as having these yellow, like veiny things on them, and there was always this kind of semi-ringing in the ears or headaches that they cause, some strange aspects of that. Whatever these things are in front of you, they're completely missing the yellow aspect. They seem to have this same kind of black sludginess to them, and their bone structure is far more thin, similar to Leifei's. And as these things are moving about, you're noticing that this organic material is getting larger. As you're staring at it, you see that they are dissolving bone dust and fragments off the floor to empower themselves.
Break off, team. We need to break off. Do not engage. Retreat, retreat, retreat.
Amos calls the retreat. What do you do with your other action, Amos?
The commanding officer is in battle range, so they're going to try and take a shot at probably the one to Leifei's left.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll for me to attack with your weapon. The opponent gets a 6 to defend itself. They don't seem to have very good defenses. They don't seem to be paying that much attention to him, but you still only got a 5 to hit. Amos!
Can I use my... Ooh. Even with the 3s, it's matched.
Yeah. Well, if it's matched, you still succeed against this target because it's not a nemesis.
I am going to burn my cache of +1s
Okay.
and land a hit.
There you are. Go ahead and roll for damage, then you're able to strike it. You hit it in the head. Go ahead and roll that damage for me. We'll see what you do. Boom! 5 points of damage. You have hit this one once before, and there was a hit in the leg. With that shot, you see the head just shatter and fragment all over the place. You notice that whatever this dark substance is pulls back away from that now that it is gone and seems to be concentrating in the chest area now. The body still ambulates towards you.
Leifei, you need to run now. We cannot kill this thing.
I'll take the reflexive action, duck and cover.
Okay, where are you duck and covering to?
Behind the doorway.
All right, so you just over to the side.
Got it, mate.
All right, and Red Iron, you are up, sir.
Red is gonna, let's see, grab this map here is what Red's gonna do. And Red's gonna catch up to Amos there. And just kind of,
I came here as soon as I could. What's going on, Captain?
Set things on fire, set things on fire, set things on fire, set things on fire. Points to two shambling corpses.
All right.
Do it.
Fire's going to be a problem in the void. You have no atmosphere to burn.
Wait, what's going on with the corpses then?
I suspect a thallium, but it doesn't look like a thallium.
What's a thallium?
I think it's what our captain has, but that's besides the point. I've yet to speak to a medical officer about this.
I thought he had a parasite.
6 of one, half a dozen of another, same thing.
Okay, what's this thing then, and what am I supposed to set on fire, Captain?
That unkillable thing down yonder over by the captain.
The walking corpses?
Both of them, yes.
Okay, so just set the corpses on fire? Why
That's
haven't we done that?
Well, because I don't carry a flamethrower on me regularly. If I knew we were fighting something that was like a thallium, I'd probably carry a flamethrower.
Okay, catch me up. What's a thallium again?
Are you gonna waste your whole turn talking here, Red Iron? As you're standing
actually, Red Iron, of course, who is barely lucid, needs a really clear picture of what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Are you going to burn your full action for that? And can I give them a +1 if I fill them in on what I know within reason?
Oh, baby. If
I
we
will
do this right, I'm not going to need a +1.
I will say yes, you could.
So you know how you get a cold and the cold always fights back?
Okay.
Well, this is a cold that'll turn into string cheese and turn you into a flailing monster that will hurt everything you love. So we need to set on fire because I tried shooting it 6 times with my trusty sidearm, and the sidearm didn't do the job. The problem is the sidearm always does the job, and it doesn't do it this time. So we need to escalate the situation a little bit.
Sure, I don't mind helping turn things on fire, but just blow up the corpses then?
That's a good way of putting it.
Leifei just says, yeah.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Appreciate it, good buddy.
You, yes, of course, Captain.
Officer?
All right, Leifei, excuse me, Red Iron, what do you do?
So how much action do I have left?
You have one standard action remaining after that discussion.
Okay. Yeah, Red'll just so Red like grabs the third arm and instead of activating it, just fires it PDO style at one of the things.
The one closest to you all, or the one further away? Leifei hit the further away quite a bit. Everybody's kind of focusing on the front one, though.
I mean, my ranged attack roll is so low, it doesn't make a difference.
All right. So, firing at the front one, then. The opponent gets a 5.
one.
You did hit! Go ahead and roll for damage. You fire from that range, and you're going to strike.
That was the wrong one. I tried to. Oh, hold on. Sorry. That's what it is.
Boom! 6 points of damage. You hit the one up front. And you see it just kind of... It hits the ground and seems to be inert at the moment.
That wasn't so hard. I don't understand why you didn't just do that in the first place.
Not everyone is equipped with the same uniform ordinance. Pirates gotta be free, you know?
We move on over to B and Cullens. Everybody out there is shouting about fighting, and Amos is telling us to leave B. What do we do? Zep off to the side. We must continue on, of course. Oh, but if you could hear me. B, we're so close. We have to do this.
We're really close, Cullens. And we have to do this to save Captain Cutlass.
Okay. For Cutlass, then, you see him draw his little revolver out, and he just goes, all right. So inside that building, then?
Yeah, right over there.
He rushes over to the building with you, and you can see that there is a door that is damaged. You can try to squeeze through one more time.
All right, I think we're going to try the moving things and making our way through that way.
All right, roll aware for me one more time. Cullens gets a 16, 18, nice! The two of you are able to move a couple of slats, a couple of boards here and there, a couple of rocks and things that have fallen, and you squeeze into the facility, into this little tiny room. You can see skeletons kind of clutching onto notebooks, laying on the ground, obviously damage to the bone structure and things like that, and a small panel to the side that has just a very, very dim red light that's just softly blinking.
I think this is the one.
Is it okay? Can we do this thing? All right. So, do we just push that button?
Yeah, just push it.
Okay. And you see him walk over, and he puts his hand right above the button and looks at you and goes, "Are you sure?"
Yes.
And then he just puts his hand down, and suddenly lights start clicking on. You hear a couple of pops in the distance. You feel an atmosphere swing over you. Suddenly, the lights all click on in the facility, and then in the distance, you just hear as something awakens to the power being turned on. And as that happens, and we see these beings on the floor in front of everybody kind of rising up against the crew, we hear the sounds of feet and bodies moving in the distance, and the scene fades to black as "To Be Continued" goes across the screen, as it is the end of tonight's episode. Everybody, thank you very much for watching the Sparrows here on Roll for Chaos. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I know that we have. Of course, we're going to go around the table. We're going to say our goodbyes, where we can find each other or more of us, and your favorite moment from tonight. Why don't we do that? Because it's always fun. And we're going to start at random like before, moving right along here. 5, that is you first, Benjamin. Red Iron, you're up first.
Yo, how's it going? I'm TT Benjamin. You can find me on Twitter at TTBenjamin1. My primary show, my personal project is the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, which I DM. We are getting close to the end of our first major campaign. I'm very proud of it. It's a lot of work. It is a travel story about 4 friends on a long journey home. There's some laughs, some feels, some action, and my handsome voice for basically the entire duration of it. So check it out. I hope you do. Otherwise, you can find me on Shared Experience on Tuesdays, where I play Jaber Valjean on the Ripples in the Gray Star Wars Fantasy Flight Games podcast. That is a blast and a half. I always have fun. I also am playing a space pirate, so I am typecast. Already, my foray into streaming, I am now typecast as a space pirate.
Hey, you did that to yourself.
I did. I did. And of course, I play Red Iron. My favorite moment of the night had to be, and this we gotta clip this. I need this for me. Was the Red Iron Amos who's on first exchange right at the end there? That was.
I don't know who's up first.
Tonight was amazing. Tonight was a really like there were so many moments. I kept like, oh, that's going to be my favorite one. Nope, that's going to be my favorite one. Actually, no, that one's going to be my favorite one. We got to that, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm going to keep that in my heart. That's where it's going to live.
Well, that is good to know. We're gonna move right on over to Gwen and B. Your turn.
Hello, and thank you all for tuning in. You can find me right here on Fridays, and coming very soon to Tuesdays on Roll Charisma. So definitely tune in for that. I think that my favorite scene tonight, although there were so many good ones, has to be Red meeting the father. That's always the most rough conversation, and he handled it like a pro.
I said he was full of shit. That usually doesn't get you a second date.
That's
Like a pro.
It seemed to work.
That's a great way to introduce yourself to the parents, right there. I think that's the tone for the entire relationship, really. We'll move right along.
Gotta be dominant.
Gotta assert that dominance, Red Iron. Moving on over to Jackal and Amos.
Well, what are you looking at, Slim? I'm looking at you, tough guy. What the hell are you looking at? Hey, folks, I'm Jackal. I play Amos Vicendi, and I guess I might be back for streaming just for a little bit. Sundays I like to do Subnautica, maybe change it up. I got a couple of cameras set aside. Maybe you might see me sit there with the Nerf blaster open, guts everywhere, and just rewiring everything. I don't know. We're playing it by ear. If you want, I give you no promises. Give me a look. Twitch.tv/MacJackalRanger.
It's always fun. Your streams are always pretty chill, and there's occasionally penguin stealing, which is fun.
I can neither confirm or deny that it's this time. You were asking about a favorite moment?
Yes.
Definitely. I don't know who's on second, who's on first with the BFG. That was beautiful. I love the chemistry there.
Oh my goodness. A lot of funny confusion. It's wonderful. We'll move right along over to Nora and Clarion Bell.
Hi, I'm Nora, aka Azetidine, and you can find me on Cornfields and Kobolds. We just released a new episode this week called I Have a Beak and I Must Scream. I personally really enjoy that episode title. Wow, gosh. Well, here, and I haven't actually been on Ruby's stream in a couple weeks, but they are wrapping up Kentucky Route Zero, and then we will be back on Sundays. And I may do some streaming in the next week or two, but I may need a kick in the pants to do it. So if anybody wants to chill and hang out with me playing whatever, probably Dark Souls, let me know.
Also awesome stuff to see. What was your favorite moment?
Yes, because I always forget to say that. It was very satisfying to make that call as Clarion and the captain's doctor, but I really enjoyed the interaction between them after he woke up.
So meta information, you have given at least another 5 to 10 years to your captain when it comes to being able to survive this thing. So,
All right.
you did some good. Although you were a horrible, horrible person.
That is exactly who Clarion is.
There you go. And we move right along from Clarion over to Kai and Leifei.
Now hold on. Years as in with like a Y.
Yeah.
Amazing. heart goes out. Oh man, he's alive.
So
my name's
so
my
much
name's
relief.
Kai.
I mean, for now, based on not having the crew do something horrible in the future.
We will. My name's Kai. I play Lei Fei in another game in another world on a different podcast. I play Ulrich de Rafe. That's with Dice Tyrants. But my stuff aside, now hold on a moment. So I've been listening to a podcast called Lawful Great Adventures. My good God. What? Ben, I was sitting in my car just like, wow. Wait, I play at a game with this guy?
Wait, what episode are you on?
I'm currently on episode 4.
Oh
I've just
my
been
god, oh wow, you're not even out of the prologue.
No, I'm not. And that's
Oh.
like the amazing part. I'm just like hearing, and this amazing thing happened, and I am so excited about this. And it's like 50 episodes in the future. Listen to this guy's podcast. It is amazing.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Kai.
All the players, the DM, the world, the entire time I'm like, how do I put this in my world? How do I do this to my stuff?
You can steal whatever you want.
How do I get this guy on like a talk show or something? Maybe again sometime soon.
I have actually been on every tabletop talk show. You just don't know it yet.
It's all there. You just don't know.
Yeah, I've already guested on every show.
I gotta catch
I
up.
love to hear them. But my favorite moment. I enjoy hanging out with B a lot. There was a lot of back and forth at the start of this, and just like, yeah, all right, B, good job navigating. Amazing. Just consistently lying to him the whole time.
The whole time.
And the funny thing is, I am 100% sure that Bee considers Lei Fei her best friend.
Yep.
So, that tells you a little bit about Bee.
She is a psychopath, I think. So, yeah, that's this amazing pirate crew, and we're starting to see some of their more personable moments with each one of them. Of course, I am Ty. I'm Lottie and Star on the Lottie and Star over there on Twitter still. RFKS. I do production here and art and all that kind of stuff, and I have my book about to be re-released. If you like this game, you can always take a look at Aether and Steamworks over on DriveThruRPG, and keep an eye on that channel for when I re-release the book again. In the meantime, as always, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Come on back. We got more crazy, chaotic things to deal with, and what's gonna happen inside of this outpost? I don't know. We'll have to see. But thanks again for watching, everybody, and we are out. So goodbye. And I gotta push the actual button, so you guys can keep waving for a little while longer until I just go like this.
I feel like a captain hat now, huh?